how big is right now CloudSEK?
Simple way to say is that today you can't cross the Indian Ocean without touching a customer which we serve. See, people make buying decisions split seconds. Even in enterprise sales.
Very good point.
We ourselves had a security incident. So we gave our laptop to a service center. When it came back, it was installed with a malware.
I mean, lot of good techies face that problem, right?
So every day we are trying to convince other people, convincing somebody to join you. So your ability to communicate that is going to be a very true skill. Growing up, I think I was super insecure because I was studying in ICSE school. I still remember teachers used to ask question, what does your dad do? Everyone was saying that my dad is in Dubai, my dad is a doctor, and I have to stand up and say my dad is. One of them referred me to a company who wanted me to now do an internship. With them.
Nice.
It was a paid internship almost. Then I decided, I'll just go work.
You decided? Hi guys, welcome to Startup Tales podcast. I'm your host Gautam Patil, and today we have very exciting guest with us, Rahul, who is the co-founder of CloudSEK. Hi, welcome Rahul.
Hi.
How is your Saturday morning doing?
Good man, good. You're sharing knowledge with people, so I think it's a good productive weekend.
Crazy, nice, amazing. So, we'll straight dive into you were an ethical hacker before, right?
Yeah.
And now you are a co-founder of a company who is making 100 CR revenue, right? So how did this journey look like? How did this transition happen?
I still think I'm deep inside a tech guy who, and I always found technology as a way to solve problems, right? Problem solving is the key skill which is required for technology people. And for me, my tech mindset, whether it's my personal problem or business problem or whatever problem, is a way I could use to solve it. But the biggest challenge was that actually when transitioning from tech to an entrepreneur was soft skills. I couldn't speak, I couldn't communicate clearly my thoughts. And I'm not saying I'm good at it today, but those are the things I really lacked at one point of time, and I thought I had to put enough amount of time to improve that.
I see lot of good techies, really good techies face that problem, right?
Yeah. See, the thing is that what do you do on a daily basis? Every day we are trying to convince other people to do something.
Exactly.
That's our day-to-day operation.
Yeah.
Convincing other people, convincing somebody to join you, convincing somebody that you are the best client to serve them, convincing somebody to write you a check. You're basically convincing people as you progress. The best convincer you are, the best outcome you get, right?
Very true.
And what do you do to make that happen? Are the key skills you would lack when you're a tech person. But if you add those and then you have the tech skills, then I think you have a very
true. I think whether anyone is an employee or a founder, right? End of the day, whenever they have to interact with people,
everybody,
right?
Yeah,
and that's where they have to convince.
And I think in the new world of AI, right? Like a lot of tasks which we used to do with technology can be now automated even faster. Right? Writing code itself is going to be done by machines at some level. So what would humans do would be verifying them.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Verifying the integrity, verifying the quality to some level.
Exactly.
Again, all those things will be automated, but we will be an approver.
Yeah.
The maker will be somebody else. The checker would be still us.
Correct.
But then post-checking, we need to communicate the value proposition, because we will eventually, till a point of time, humans are going to consume that data, or humans are going to use those services. Humans are the one who's going to sell us. So your ability to communicate that is going to be a very true skill.
True.
So if you're a tech guy today, and if you're the best tech guy, but better get your upskill in your communication aspects.
Yeah, completely makes sense.
This wasn't needed maybe 10 years back.
True.
A couple of years back, but now it is
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, can you tell me a little bit about like from where did you graduate? Then how was your childhood looking like?
Yeah.
Your engineering and all, and then how did CloudSEK was born?
Yeah. So I was born in Kerala. My dad was a bus conductor. My mom was a housewife. My dad was a bus conductor to the Kerala Transport. This is the KSRTC. KSRTC is the Kerala Transport Service. Growing up, I think I was super insecure because I was studying in ICSE school.
Okay.
I had a very nice ICSE school nearby, and I was one of the best in the state as well, by the way.
Oh.
And it was just like 10 minutes walking from my house.
Okay.
So everybody wanted to send their kids there, and my dad also made sure I went there. The problem going to a school like that was that everybody else, you had all these rich kids. Either their parents were not in India, or their parents were a doctor, or their parents were something else, right? Or running a business. So they used to have this questions, the teacher, I still remember teachers used to ask question, what does your dad do?
Okay.
That's like everyone has to stand up and say, what does your dad do? And I remember like when I was very small, this is the core memories. Like core memories are like maybe a third or fourth grade. Core memory I remember is I finding it very difficult because everyone is saying that my dad is in Dubai, my dad is doctor, and I have to stand up and say my dad is a bus conductor. Again, the insecurity, right?
Yeah, I completely get that.
And I also remember like like certain grown-ups bullying me on that aspect. So I also remember at a point of time I used to say, instead of saying dad used to work for as a bus conductor, I used to say my dad worked for KSRTC.
Okay.
You see, so that's what the earlier days. But then eventually when I grew up, I understood that my dad was able to send me to the same school as all these rich kids, right? So that is actually an achievement, which at a point of time I couldn't understand.
True.
Right? So that perspective changed in school itself. But then I was actually good in science, building technology. My favorite cartoon show was Dexter's Lab, and I used to have a lab at my home. My room was my lab, right? I used to burn, get electrocuted, play with all sort of things, just to think that I'm creating something. So I loved doing that. But it wasn't the best when it comes to studies. That is also because I was diagnosed with ADHD, by the way.
Oh.
So the attention deficit and hyperactivity was there. We realized it because in classes my attention spans were very less. So a lot of things I'm really good at. And the teachers were like, he's a really smart kid, but then when it comes to certain subjects, certain things, he's not able to follow through. And so then by the time we were reaching my 10th grade, they were very afraid that I might flunk 10th grade. So they took me to a neurologist, and then they diagnosed saying that I have ADHD.
Okay.
So said, of course, I have to take some medication.
It's a very common.
Yeah. So maybe in 8th, 9th, 10th grade, I had to do the medication, so that till when I finished my 10th exams, I took those medications. So how it works is that, let's say for you and I am having this conversation, I might literally zone out for a very long period of time, and then I would come back.
Correct.
So it was very difficult to get hold of all the subjects. But then there are certain subjects like science, I was too good at. And I could build things when people are studying theories. I had a magic troupe, I created a magic troupe. That was my first startup. That is, I created in 8th grade. Okay. And by the time I reached 12th grade, I had a team of, we used to go perform in clubs, we used to make money. So I was earning money at that point of time.
What was this doing, magic troupe?
We used to perform magic, magician.
So you draw magicians, okay.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that from?
Well, there were people who I could books, by the way, there's tons of books. Magic, it's again a creative art, right? There's one base principle and you can build so many things on top of that principle. And you could do very cool things. So I was earning money in my 12th grade. Again, like I said, I was using science, principles of science to build these magic trick. There was a magic trick where you could just burn camphor or light a camphor, transfer it in your hand, put it in your mouth, and then take it out. Because camphor doesn't burn. Camphor for the 2 or 3 seconds, it doesn't burn at a certain degree Celsius. If you want to burn your body, it has to burn at a certain degree Celsius.
Correct.
Camphor doesn't burn at that. It burns on a lower level.
Okay.
So you can hold a camphor in your hands
for some time,
for 1 or 2 seconds. And if you transfer it back, it'll feel like you're handling with fire. And you can put it in the mouth. The minute you put it in the mouth and shut the mouth, oxygen is cut off. So it'll almost go down, the flame will go down. So you can keep it down for 1 or 2, 3 seconds. Then you open your mouth, it'll get oxygen and it'll light up back. So it'll feel like the camphor is burning inside your mouth for an extended period. So you can create illusions. Again, it's just science. So when people who doesn't understand science see that, it'll be like, oh wow, this is cool, right? So you used to do all sort of things. Again, science and technology to do magic. And again, things were going good. But studies on certain papers, history, I was like, I really sucked at history classes. It was very difficult for me to remember why Aurangzeb did anything for that matter, right? But then when I reached my college, I understood that the ADHD, and I was getting beaten up. My parents were in school more than me because teachers are complaining that Rahul is in the class, but he's not able to attend the class. He's completely zoned out. Right? And my mom used to cry. I remember my mom used to cry in front of the class because my teachers were taunting. One of the teachers taunted her. But then when I reached my first year of engineering, and I wanted to do engineering, no matter what, because it was science, technology, I wanted to build things. When I reached engineering is when I understood that every time I'm zoning out on things I am interested in. You might have said something which caught my attention, and now it is thinking deeply about the futuristic aspect of that one thing. So all I have to do is put in a situation of things I really wanted to work on, and the brain would automatically zone out and find solutions to that problem. So you could become really creative with that particular thing. Again, you just have to do things you like. So I don't have to, if I don't like history, I just have to don't do history at all. Focus on things you actually like and you get the best outcome out of it. So when I understood this, that's when I understood that cybersecurity was one of the things. Hacking and all those were one of my, I loved computers and I started doing that. And that is when in the first, second, third year.
Engineering you figured out.
So in the first year of engineering, which I understood that I'm able to do computers really well. Because every time I'm zoning out, I'm able to come up with an idea. Okay, I was just thinking, because I spend so much time in the computer lab and I go home, I go to my hostel in the first semester. Again, spend more time learning things. So college was not very interesting, but being in front of a computer, programming, building tools, finding new ways to hack things was very interesting.
So you have some crazy stories during this engineering period, what you did? Which might be something crazy.
So in my second year, how did I got popularity was I managed to put, so there are computer lab, right? Computer lab. I managed to put my photograph and my name every time a computer starts. Not just on one computer, everybody's computer.
So the whole lab.
Whole lab. We made a simple VB-script worm, which what it does is it replicates like a normal virus, but it doesn't do anything bad. It goes from one pen drive to the other. The minute it infects another computer, it removes all the other malwares, which is already there, which is slowing that computer, and then gives the credit back to me, say that Rahul has fixed this computer.
Oh, okay.
Right? So it started from my computer. We created this thing, was testing it on my computer. It then spread from my computer to the computer lab.
So through pen drives,
pen drives, yes, it moved at that point of time, and it moved not in my computer lab. It moved to the entire OT, by the way, because now there are people complaining on blogs saying that I'm seeing this, and then it went to the university. So then it became very popular that everyone was like, okay, Rahul is the hacker guy in college.
Okay.
But then that actually also came with a disadvantage. While the intention which I was doing was all good, every time someone forgot their password or was getting logged out from their Orkut account, they think I hacked it.
Okay.
So then again, staffs were calling me to their cabin, why did you hack my account? I'm like, I didn't do anything. I have nothing to do with that, right? I mean, so then I also became the default tech guy to go to for. But because I was so super less, so this is when the college implanted a biometric device. It's called ESSL. It's a company, a Chinese manufacturer. Today, if you look at anywhere in the country, ESSL provides all the biometrics. ESSL is the device name. They put that to capture staff attendance, right? So, and I was very curious, right? The device sitting there, somewhere, it might have to be somewhere connected to the same network. So eventually I figured out a way to find what is the IP address of this network on device network, build a program to scan it. Once I found the network, I was able to figure out that there is a certain communication protocol. It uses UDP, by the way, the protocol. And there's no authentication. That means I could actually get into these biometric devices, download all the staff attendance, edit them, replace them, do whatever. So I was like, okay, these staffs are like really torturing me for unwanted things. Maybe I should do something cool. But then every time when I found a way to hack it, I always go back to the IT head and tell him, hey, listen, I was able to do this. And he was such a nice guy that he gave me more opportunity to be in the lab, spend more time learning. But then what I understood also is that I could publish these papers. So my first paper I published, and it took some time, by the way, to write the whole biometric hack. I think put up a blog, started with a couple of blogs and forums and things like that about whatever I'm finding. That actually got a lot of other people who are in the cybersecurity at that time. This is, by the way, 2008, 9, 10 time frame. Other community members who are also again, security was very early, who saw this. And one of them referred me to a company who wanted me to now do an internship with them.
Nice.
It was a paid internship, almost 35,000 rupees.
During that time.
Yeah. It was that's something that was a big deal at that point of time, right? 35,000 today would be like easily a 65,000 to 70,000, you can say. And I was super impressed. I mean, I was excited. I just wanted to work. This is somewhere we were reaching my 7th semester as well. But my HOD at that point of time was like, yeah, so I had to get that permission, right? I remember going to his office and saying, hey, listen, I want to do this. They're like, no, you have to be in campus, finish engineering, and then you go, you do go work. I mean, in between your semester, and today it is popular. People are going off campus doing internship. That's a norm.
Correct.
Back then it was not the norm.
Correct.
And for me, that was like, what is the point spending time another 6 months, trying to, like, I was completely disheartened. Like, what is the point in getting a certificate because for the sake of certificate when the opportunity is to learn and do something valuable? Someone is saying no. So you are like, you see, you lose interest in why are we doing it, sort of.
Yeah.
Then I decided, well, I'll just go work.
I'll just go drop off.
Yeah. I decided not to pursue my engineering. I decided, listen, I think it's better to prove the world that I could do it without an engineering degree.
That's not a normal decision also to take. Reason being is that if if you could be in the first sem, right, I could have understood.
Yeah.
But you are almost at the end of engineering, right?
Yeah.
7th sem.
Yeah.
And then you decided to drop off.
Yeah. So see, my theory at that point of time was, crazy. That my thought process was that colleges, what is the job of a college? College does one thing. It tells you that you know something. It tells you that you are good in computer science. And to prove that, they give you a certificate. It's a central authority that validates you know something. What if we could replicate that? What if we could replicate that by the world telling that Rahul knows something? So instead of central authority, it's a peer distributed system that says that Rahul knows this. So my point was that if I could do that, because my blogs are getting me attention, the work I was doing was already getting me attention, and this internship. Maybe if I could continue pushing more research papers onto the internet, put more work, twice as hard, work as hard, there's a chance I could have a different path.
Correct.
I was very curious to see where that path would lead. I was very curious to see what is the outcome. That's why I did it. So now after office, maybe 7 or 8, when I come back, I spend now 7 o'clock to, or whatever time, it could be 8 o'clock, it could be 9 o'clock, I spend at least 3 or 4 hours researching on one topic.
Okay. Even today?
Yes, even today. But
nice.
That is a habit which I formed at that point of time.
This also shows one very important thing, I feel. The power of putting forward to other people what you know, right? And using any media for that.
Yeah.
I mean, LinkedIn you use, Instagram you use, or you use blogs, whatever.
Yes.
But just putting out these things, right?
Yes.
Writing what you know and all can give so much opportunities in your life, right?
See, that's the thing, right? That's the important thing, right? I mean, people think, why am I here? This is the same, because of the same reason. I mean, I could be sitting on Saturday enjoying my weekend.
Exactly.
Same reason. I think that's valuable. It has to help me. It doesn't need to be a podcast. You could write a blog on a Saturday, right? You could write a social media post with valuable content, not ChatGPT generate, but your original thoughts.
Exactly.
Which a lot of people lack today, But that is going to be helpful.
True. But I mean, how did till now, right? I understand you are a really smart kid, very high techie, who is into cybersecurity. But I mean, that entrepreneurship shift, right? When did that happen?
Yeah. See, so so I started working. I started publishing the papers. I started. Then between 2010 and 15, I was able to travel to almost 22 plus countries as an invited speaker, free of cost, because people want to listen to the topic I blogged.
Oh, nice.
Conferences, etc., etc. So I was traveling. I met so many people worldwide. I get those connections. I was able to interact. I don't think I was thinking about a startup or any of those things at that point of time. I was really enjoying my work. I was enjoying that phase in journey. I think, and this company which I joined early on eventually got sold to Google Cloud.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was the name of that company?
It was iSight, and iSight got sold to Mandiant, and together iSight and Mandiant is now part of Google Cloud.
Okay.
Right. So what happened was, so then I was just thinking, what do I do, etc. That's when Citrix, it's a virtualization company, a US-based company who reached out, wanted to offer. And I was the first guy to get offered and hired there without an engineering degree.
Oh.
By the time I was able to show people that I had the skills.
Yeah.
But what was interesting was, when I was working there, and like I said, I always enjoy my work. I mean, I love it so much that I just wanted more of a work, sort of, right? And I was a techie guy. And I remember passively a colleague of mine making this reference. Yeah, Rahul will never want to be a manager. He's a tech guy.
Okay.
I think that kind of like
struck you.
Okay, well, why would I not want to manage anything? I mean, yeah, I enjoy what I'm doing. It's like all of a sudden, what is this new challenge, right?
I get that.
what is this new challenge? And then all of a sudden someone says, and all throughout my journey, someone has told me that I can't do it, was always the reason I did it. And then someone saying that you will not be able to manage, now Rahul would not want to do that. So that kind of like got into my this thing a bit. I was also at that time thinking, when I was meeting people, when I was traveling meeting people, I used to before think that smart people were only there in Israel or in certain part of, because all the softwares we're using were coming from those regions. I'm not saying there are smart people, there are dumb people also. That's everywhere, that situation. But the bias made me think they're superior, certain races are superior, which made me think, no, there are smart people everywhere. Smart people in every cities, right? Every towns, every villages. So what is stopping us from building a world-class product and selling it to the world? So now these two things got into my head. I'm saying, okay, if I have to scale up, if I have to do better than what I'm doing, then I have to do something more. And when something, maybe the bigger thing is that to prove the world that good software, a cybersecurity company can come from this part of the world.
Got it.
Today nobody would believe it. Tomorrow, if you could make that point, a lot of people will come, and you will set the paving stone for that revolution.
How big is right now CloudSEK?
So we are we want to make almost 100 crores in revenue.
In revenue.
Yes. And we're growing. The simple way to say is that today you can't cross the Indian Ocean without touching a customer which we serve. Whether it's the largest airlines of UK, or it's the largest airport in UAE, or in India, we will be serving them. We'll take care of the security. Our product takes care of the cyber intelligence security of these.
Can you little bit tell more?
So cyber intelligence is basically, it came from military intelligence, the origin. What does a CIA do? The intelligence agency's job is to collect what is happening outside the country, outside country's perimeter, tell that, hey, this terrorist could potentially enter the country or plant a bomb. And if you could avoid that terrorist from entering the country or planting the bomb, you would save millions of lives. But the same thing for cybersecurity. Can we warn customers of the imminent threats that they are going to face? How will they be attacked? Who is going to attack them? And what infrastructure of theirs could be attacked? Preventive warning, then reactive is what we provide today.
So your product helps them prevent from attacks.
Yes.
Got it.
And this is what we sell at this point of time, right? And an interesting way to look at it is that it took us 7 years, let's say, to get to 2 million ARR. Okay. And it only took 2 years for us to go from 2 million to 10 million.
Nice.
Right?
Man. Crazy.
So the early days were like quite challenging. There were people who even said that we would not buy. I mean, my board will only trust an Israeli product. And true, that was how the boards were thinking at that point of time, that because India didn't have any softwares in cybersecurity. So when people encounter a situation they haven't, they have always have these biases. The biases will kick in, and then these sort of thoughts will form.
So so this is like more like a SaaS product, right? What CloudSEK has, right? So what are advices would you give or for an entrepreneur who is building maybe SaaS products?
Yeah. More than SaaS, it's fundamentally important to understand what are the value you're providing to the customer and what will they pay for that value. These two things are important. Sometimes somebody would want something, but they would not pay for it. Okay, somebody they would not want for it, so because of which they wouldn't pay for it either, right? So understanding this is very important, and I'll tell you a couple of examples of companies. They were trying to build a software which normal shopkeepers could use to manage their payments. While a shopkeeper might want a solution like this, but does he really need a solution in his day-to-day work to solve it? Is then the alternate question. But here, yes, you need to build an enormous behavioral change in that human being for him to adopt to the technology.
Correct.
Than maybe writing it on a paper or
And
something.
also, is he willing to pay for that?
Yes, correct. Now, if he is able to, if he is not ready to pay for it, if you make him adopt it, what is the alternate way you could make money out of it? Right? That is also fine, because if you have a user base, like what Cred is doing, you're trying to build a user base. People are not paying, credit cards are not rewarding, going to get them money.
Correct.
Right? But then they can use that to build a user base on which they could sell.
Yes, true.
So your business plan, how you could eventually make money is more important as much as what is the value to the end user. If these two things are aligned, SaaS is just a way of providing that value.
Got it. Makes sense.
There are so many sites online which will help you format an image. You're not going to pay for that. Then they could make money only via advertisement.
Correct. True.
You're making the wrong business plan, thinking that, hey, if I'm thinking that I make it, people will buy it. If I make it and put it in a SaaS, then people will buy it. Is where I would say the first advice, you know. And the question to always start is, if I make it, who's going to buy? How much will they pay for it? If you're clear about these things, then you have a business.
Got it. Makes sense. And also, because you was a techie before and now you're an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
So, what you would want to tell to other techies who are there, what maybe skills they should learn if they want to move towards entrepreneurship?
Technology, you don't need to be a technologist to be an entrepreneur.
True.
I mean, technology is a new way of solving problems.
Yes.
Okay, so the entrepreneurship is about how do you make money by solving somebody's problem. As simple as that. And again, technology is a way of doing that. Without technology also, you can do it. So the fundamental thing is this. What pain point of view, whom are you solving, and how much is solving it worth?
And like what skills Rahul as a techie he had, and I mean, what after becoming a founder, right? What he wanted, I mean.
Yeah, that's right. See, technology I caught up only in 2006 sort of time frame. Before that, like I said, me building my magic troupe was more valuable to me as a founder than any sort of engineering.
Yeah, true.
Right? It helped me it taught me how you could present things. See, people make buying decision split seconds. Even in enterprise sales.
Very good point.
Right? People have decided whether they want to buy you or not in their first meeting itself. Rest everything is, in my perspective, a process.
Okay.
So how do you create that wow factor in the very first meeting? That it's impressive is going to be super important for your success. In the early days of the magic, I figured out that putting a wonderful your starting act is very important act. That's when you connect to your audience. That's when the audience understands you as a human being, and then you show them your talent.
Yes.
When the audience gets impressed. There are a lot of magicians. Yes. Is the magic, if you would have seen the same magic trick performed by two different magicians. You would have liked one, the other one was like, okay, why? Right? It's about the art of presenting that. So that's important. Now when I say people would have made buying decision in the first phase itself, fine, that's right. There's a will, there's a need to buy something. Then there will come challenges, enterprise level challenges. I'll give you a very simple example. iPhone, before iPhone, there was something called BlackBerry. Every corporate enforced their employees to use BlackBerry because it is considered secure. BlackBerry's thought process also was that we are an enterprise mobile solution. iPhone would never be able to disrupt us because iPhone is for consumers. Enterprises will always trust BlackBerry. You see, that's the thing, right? If there's a strong desire in the need of people, now if a group of people want something in the org, that's the best way you could make it happen in the org. And I'll give you a very simple example. In the early days, before iPhone, it was a BlackBerry. The enterprises were ruled by BlackBerry. When iPhone came, BlackBerry really believed that they could not be disrupted because enterprises needed a secure way of communicating. And iPhone was considered as a normal people's phone, insecure. Now, the iPhone guys made it so aspirational, want to have product, that the enterprises has eventually have to change their policies to allow everybody to have an iPhone, right? So disruption will happen when people so badly want something, and making sure that people want you badly is your job as an entrepreneur.
Got it. Makes sense. Makes sense. So, I mean, you're there in this field for I think more than 15 years plus, right?
Yeah, cybersecurity, yes.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, what are some of the interesting problems that still exist in this space that maybe young entrepreneurs can chip in and solve?
See, the biggest challenge with cybersecurity is, and in the offensive aspect, and there's a defensive aspect. The offensive aspect, it's about breaking into something, right? And the interesting aspect of breaking into something is that it's a puzzle solving. A puzzle solving is that you put enormous amount of time and effort and patience, you will be able to break it at one point. You will be able to find that loophole and break it. But so in my perspective, that is about time, patience, and skills. If you increase, if you have enough resources on all of three things, you would be able to eventually break in even to the largest bank. But now from the bank's perspective, they would have fixed all the problems. They would have fixed all the security issues. They would have fixed all the threats they could anticipate. But they just have to make one mistake. So let's say they fix 100, but they make one mistake, the entire thing would be
Gone.
on that. So every incident you would have seen is because 100 or 200 things are fixed, but one thing or two things were missed out.
I mean, is there any crazy incident in your life that happened? I mean, that was just blowing. Lot of, I mean, too much of loss, something like that and all.
We ourselves had a security incident.
Okay.
So we gave our laptop. So when you have a laptop to be fixed, you give it to a service center. And when a laptop comes back from a service center, technically one of the things you should do is it should go to a quarantine process.
Okay.
It should be loaded with antivirus and all, even if it's there, because the machine has gone out, there's a process which you can quarantine it, and then install all those solutions and then hand it back to employee. In our perspective, there's a process flow which we had. So a machine which went out and it came back, we handed it over to an employee.
Okay.
When it came back, it was installed with a malware.
Oh.
This happened many years back. And the malware took out usernames and passwords from his computer, which is saved on his browser the minute he came online.
Okay.
We had two-factor and all in many websites, which is an important thing to have. There's one website which didn't have two-factor. But then, and these username and password eventually came to the dark web. It's a place where people buy and sell information.
Yeah.
Our solution also monitors dark web. So we got a warning from our own technology that the password is out there.
Okay.
So what we do is normally that anybody does.
I mean, just for to give audience the context, can you in short tell what is dark web?
Dark web is like a black market, like Amazon, but primarily to trade. I could buy people's phone numbers, I could buy people's passwords, I could buy people's sometimes access to someone's computer from the dark web, or I could hire a hacker who could hack somebody for you. So it's like that's an e-commerce, and there are hundreds of sites like that. So we are monitoring thousands of these sites, and our solutions was able to give us a warning that, hey, this password of this employee is out.
Okay.
So as any normal person does, we kind of change the password, right? But then that wasn't enough.
Because the malware was still there.
Malware is still there. No, actually, this is interesting. This particular malware, the minute it takes the password, it just self-destructs.
Oh, okay.
Its job is to only take out all the passwords in the memory, and then I'm happy with that, and he just goes. So malware was not the problem, so it's a concern. But how did somebody, even when the password was changed, got into the application? Is because the password had access to. When the people are accelerating, they're not accelerating the password. They're accelerating something that's called the cookie files.
Okay.
Cookies are what authenticates you and the site. And the file says that I am the authority to the site. If the file is logged, I can just put that file back into another computer and I can get access to your Facebook account.
True.
So the hackers were able to replicate that. So changing password wasn't enough. And then when we deep dived, we found certain other flaws with adulation product, which was managing those cookies, etc., which is now fixed. Which went into, oh well, how can a cybersecurity company be hacked sort of thing. And you have to understand, in the entire 10 years, this is the one situation.
Okay.
Which happened, right? And
but
that became
good thing I think was that your product itself giving you a warning that this is something which happened. That is amazing. How, is personal branding helped you in building CloudSEK?
No, very much. I think personal branding is something I've been focusing on ever since I left college. You think personal branding is what is in the end you communicate, you sharing people knowledge, them benefiting out of it, and the best value you can give people is knowledge.
True.
You're teaching somebody to fish, and if they that will help them, they'll always remember you for that. So personal branding is saying that I have a car or a bike. Well, I don't know. That's not my way of looking at it. My way of personal branding is help share knowledge. And if somebody is able to use that knowledge to do something valuable for him or her, they'll remember is the thing. So there are people who became our customer. So I used to go to colleges, and this is when colleges started inviting me in 2015, 14, 15, etc., etc. I used to go to colleges, and I used to give students in those colleges 1,000 rupees each.
For?
I asked them random questions from my talk, and I used to take 10,000 rupees from my own pocket, and whoever answers, I used to give them 1,000 rupees. My objective was that someone is motivated, and someone is listening to what I'm speaking, for no matter what, and someone is motivated to eventually do something. That'll be great. And many years later, recently I was in Singapore. I met one of these students, whom I met.
Okay, whom you had given 1,000 rupees.
Yeah, he's now working in Singapore for a bank, and he was part of the evaluation process when the bank was buying us. But then he already knew us, and he already knew how we were as a company.
Crazy nice,
right? So doing good, and I say going good in personal branding is always going to be helpful. Today in every quarter we have at least 2 customers whom we add from that personal branding aspect.
Nice, amazing.
Yeah.
Whoever entrepreneurs are there in the space of cybersecurity, what advice would you give them?
Since cybersecurity?
Yeah. All those people who, let's keep it generic.
Yeah.
All those entrepreneurs who are there, right?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to an entrepreneur? Maybe to a techie who is trying to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think if you're afraid of something, then there is something rightful there. Okay, every time I was afraid, afraid to quit my engineering, afraid to quit my last job to start a company,
Nice.
Every time I saw fear in front of me as a blocker, that was always the right decision. The fear was just a blocker.
There's something way far more better ahead of that.
Yes. So the way our brain processes, I mean, we are, I mean, our survival over millions of years of evolution happen because we are afraid. I mean, so is many species. All the species which were afraid of things is why they were able to survive, which is cool. But then that fear should not be the way of you making decisions. You should actually figure out what is the opportunity in front of you, understand the opportunity in front of you, and the risk to reward proportion, and make decisions, not fear. So I will always say starting is more important than anything, or doing it is more important than anything. But you should know this risk reward proportion, figure it out, write it down.
Makes
if you
sense.
build it, who's going to buy it? As simple as that. And how much? If you have these 3 answers, it's short.
Tell me one thing, because you are making really good revenue right now, right? So the team also must have grown to a good scale, right? So what, I mean, kind of culture is there at CloudSEK?
What kind of culture? See, I mean, okay, every company believes they have the best culture. But then what is the best culture? Best culture is not to keep everybody happy, right? And the best culture is actually to keep the wrong ones out.
Nice.
As simple as that, right? You have a mission, right? The culture is to achieve that mission. What are the right people around you? If you want to send rocket to Mars, the people need to be as passionate about being in Mars, as passionate about engineering technology to make that fleet happen. Anybody else who finds it as a work is never going to make it through. Your company is not going to take off either. So the culture would be then about what do you do so that the right people are in the system, right? And make brutal calls to not have the right people.
And how have you done it? I mean, what things you have implemented at CloudSEK to do this?
See, making sure, and it's very difficult also, right? And you always make, and I've made enough hiring mistakes, and I'm constantly trying to get better for sure. Making sure first the people who are coming in are the best. Do we have a very good process in place? That is one. If you have, and even if you have that process, you'll still make mistakes.
True.
If you're making that mistake, I'll tell you one of the mistakes I made. I mean, long back, I knew one of our team members in the admin operations was a not good fit.
Okay.
A simple thing like a reimbursement of somebody takes months to process. They kind of lose track of that.
Okay.
And eventually then people have to send 100 escalation emails to get their reimbursement money.
Okay.
Now I knew this person was not the right fit. On the other end, the person was also very good friends with everybody in the company. When we were a small company, like 20-30 people company, he was friends with everybody in the company. So I was like, and this is a very early on, right? This is an evolution of me. I was like, if I have to let go this person today, all the people who are friends with him, who are good people, are going to be unhappy, right? And then I'm going to create a pandemonium or a situation in the company.
Correct.
Why would I want that?
Correct.
So then we went from 20 people to 50 people, 50 people to 100 people, 100 people to 200 people. The person remained.
Okay.
So there were even like, there were times where people's insurance, if I remember, insurance claims were to be approved, and then we were sitting on it.
Oh.
Right? So, and then what happened was that because I didn't fix the problem way early on, I could have fixed it when I was 20 people.
Yeah.
I didn't fix it because of, I was very afraid what people will think of me and my decision. And it took me 4 years to understand that you have to fix problems when you knew it. You can't be sitting on problems, because when you sit on problems is when you make it bad for everybody else. Think about it this way, right? Very simple way. Somebody who's a construction worker. He's building a bridge. Let's say he is responsible for a bridge, the whole bridge for the village. His wife is having cancer. I'm saying hypothetically. Okay. Now you know as an operator that he's terrible at building the bridge, and if he builds the bridge, it will collapse. That means the next time a group of people, more than 5-6 people, climbs on that bridge, it will collapse. What would you do? Would you let the same person build the bridge?
Not at all.
Right? So the moral reasoning aspect of what is the right thing to do is always going to be difficult as you scale up. But then eventually you have to do what is the best for the org, not for a particular person. Now, I give a strong example because there's always one or the other sides that way you look at it.
And I think maybe when you were 20 people, right? That time it was a much smaller problem to solve.
Yeah.
Now the problem got even bigger because
it even
you
got
connected
bigger.
to 200
And
people.
It is on me, right? I mean, it was on me that I didn't solve it way early on. I sat on it because I was too afraid what people would think of me or what the situation will create, and then I have to create another bigger mess.
True.
No, fix the problem when you knew it.
Absolutely.
Don't sit on them is my biggest lesson.
Absolutely, makes sense. So any advice you want to give to audience who are watching, who all are aspiring entrepreneurs?
I would say, I mean, see, in the end, life is about being happy. If you're happy working for somebody, that's important. If you're not working for somebody, you can't, then you go create the environment you want to, right? Never be unhappy is what I would say.
Nice.
Never be unhappy wherever you're in. Like, what is the ideal world you want to create? You create it for yourself.
Whether you are an employee or whether you are a founder. Doesn't matter.
Right? Entrepreneurship, the way I look at it is that. Creating the ideal environment you want, not for yourself, but for people around you as well.
Amazing. I mean, thank you so much, first of all, for your valuable time. I mean, for me itself, it was amazing, great lessons to learn from you. Whatever conversations we had, right? It was a great conversation. So, I mean, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks.